Hi, I'm Kelly.
And hi, I'm Geoff.
And this is Blueprints for Belonging, where we're exploring how to build conscious connection in a disconnected world.
Because belonging doesn't happen by accident.
Mm-hmm.
It happens by design.
Hey, Geoff.
Hey, Kelly.
Woohoo! Here we are, another episode.
Episode 5.
Yeah, we're going to talk about our last 3 of our distortions. So
Right, this is the end of our little mini-series that we started this season off with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, we have blame shifting, negativity bias, and fundamental attribution error.
we like that one.
Who knows about that one? I remember when she told me the first time, I'm like, what?
Yeah,
I've never heard of that before.
Think of them as thinking patterns. They are how we shape and interpret our world and other people, and
Mm-hmm.
they're just an awareness to have, because a lot of times we're just unaware that we're using them.
Oh, absolutely.
And so it's just helpful to kind of bring this to our consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm. Bring it to light.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, we're just approaching all of this with curiosity, not judgment that you're right or wrong, or these patterns they're not flaws. They're just our human shortcuts that our brain uses.
Yeah.
That likes to make sense of all these complex situations. So.
Right, and when we're unaware of them, they can quietly move us into power over or power under dynamics instead of power with.
Mm-hmm.
And that, in a nutshell, is the entire world.
Mm-hmm. So do you remember what our reflection word was for last week?
Notice.
Yes, noticing. Learning to see these patterns when they arise. So, because today we're building on that awareness of looking at these 3 distortions. They strongly influence how we experience conflict and even belonging. Because
what's the opposite of conflict?
belonging. Right. So, that blame shifting, the negativity bias, and the fundamental error, our attribution error. So we're going to talk about those today.
Right. These 3 shape how we assign responsibility, what we focus on emotionally, and how quickly we turn behavior into character judgments.
Not judging your character at all. No, not me.
Right. No, she doesn't do that. I do it good enough on myself,
right.
Actually.
Anyway, our understanding of these kind of help us move from assumption to curiosity, which is where our connections truly begin.
Yep.
So let's begin with blame shifting. This kind of happens when responsibility for a problem is placed entirely on someone else or something external from us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like traffic this morning.
It's not me. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to work, and oh my, I had to change the direction I was going. I had to take an alternate route to work because my initial route was fraught with issues, and it was moving so slow.
Mm-hmm.
And then that alternate route also had slowness, as it usually does, which is why I don't usually go that way. The other way is usually quicker, but today it wasn't.
So it creates this narrative.
And I was out of sorts.
Right.
I was bent out of shape about it, and I was happy to blame anybody in any other car.
Right.
Not me.
Right. So it kind of creates this simple narrative that someone else is at fault for this.
Mm-hmm.
Right. It wasn't me.
Right. It's probably construction.
I'm just trying to get to work. Anyway, it often, blame kind of gives that relief feeling because it kind of shifts that clarity of who's at fault.
Mm-hmm.
It's not me, it must be you.
Right. But who's responsible for how you feel about anything?
Well, that simplicity comes at a cost. Okay? So blame kind of narrows the story. Instead of asking what happened between us, it moves into who's wrong.
Well, right.
So, and if you're the one that's wrong, I can just get rid of you. I don't have to be around you. You're the one that causes all this trouble for me. Can't be me.
Yeah. What I was asking, though, is who is responsible for how you feel?
You are.
Right. That was the answer I was looking
Yeah,
for.
yeah.
So
But
we're trying to bring you back to that.
Right,
basically.
but a lot of people think if you made me feel this way, it's your fault.
It's your fault. Right.
Right.
Well, and that is the paramount of blame shifting. You made me feel this way. It is your fault.
But that's interesting. You made me feel this way. I have that power to make you feel that way?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Really-
You're very powerful.
I know. I know. I feel like you don't like me. Or I feel like you don't love me.
Right.
I feel like.
Right. Well, because that's not really a feeling now, is it?
No, it's a thought.
It's misappropriating the words.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like. No, if you use the word like in it,
It's probably
it's not a feeling.
Or even as if.
As if, yeah. Well, because as if is just like, right? Yeah.
So anyway, so kind of once that happens, the we're not collaborating anymore. We're into defensive because
Right.
now you've drawn the line.
It's the blame game
Right.
and the finger pointing and
Right.
getting my back up.
Any other examples that you might have about the blame
Blame shifting?
shifting?
Oh, well. People in politics do it all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't need to call out any
Nope,
specifics
nope,
because
nope.
they all do it a lot.
So
Yeah.
why are we focused on this one today? Why bring up this one?
Because it's very present in our lives. I mean, not only do we do it on small scale, and many people do, but the leaders of our country and our state do it too, and do it
Constantly.
constantly without ever really noticing what they're doing.
Now shift it back down to families.
Okay, yeah.
Shift it to
small
work.
scale.
Shift
That's
it
where
to
we
work.
are, where we are.
Right. Shifting it to work. How does that work in blame?
Oh,
You didn't show up on time.
yeah. At any other place, I'm sure that would be a problem. That I would be castigated for it, or something, and I would have to work the extra 10 minutes that I was late to work. Although I wasn't technically late to work, I was late for when I wanted to arrive. I'm not supposed to get there till 9. It was 10 till 9 when I got there, but I was hoping to get there at 8:30. Because it's Thursday, and
You want to get it over and done
I want to get it over and done with, and I want the full 4 hours before I come here to record.
Because we record on Thursdays.
Yeah. We're back to Thursdays
Back to
at least.
Thursdays
Yeah.
recording, right.
Because Jeffrey has a work schedule now.
Woohoo.
Yay!
So all of this, if we're not aware that we're using blame, what happens?
Well, we alienate each other. We disconnect.
We
Simply
also blame ourselves, too, for a lot of things.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, and alienate each other and ourselves, I should say, right?
So anyway,
that
so why
alienation
we're
works.
creating this awareness to about blame shifting is kind of back to the noticing. Am I noticing this? Am I aware of it?
Am I blaming myself?
Am I blaming myself for things? And then we'll talk in another episode about all of how to use all of this awareness. But we'll do that in another episode. We're getting there. So but we're just bringing up this as kind of like the fundamentals of what our season is about. So
Right.
but we're trying to give some overview of kind of what we're going to be working on for this season. So
Yeah, this is a really good one because blame narrows the field to who is wrong and therefore indicating the other is right. In that
That
arrangement.
certainty,
Yeah,
right, right.
it's certainty. Who has real certainty? Nobody. Nobody knows for certain just about anything.
well, in our NVC structure, there's power over and power under, and power with is a different. Power with is about collaboration, is about working together. Power over and power under is usually about, in some ways, it's a form of blame, kind of a little bit. If I'm in power under, oh, it must be something I've done wrong.
Right.
You know, or if power over, oh, I'm going to make sure you don't get to do that decision because I know better than you.
Right.
So,
I'm going to make you pay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, so it kind of reinforces, the blame kind of reinforces that power dynamic.
Right. And this is a dynamic that exists all over the place.
Yeah, doesn't matter where you are.
I mean,
For centuries it's been around.
yeah,
Right.
every company, every family,
Right.
every club. Yep.
So what can we do to kind of be aware of this more? What would be some actions a person could take to be aware of their noticing blaming? What would be?
She always asks me the tough questions. and makes me go, I don't know. And creates dead air.
Oh no, I'm not doing it for that. Okay.
I don't know, because I only know where I am in this journey. And I'm still at the point where when I get to that point, I still need reflection to see it. So I'm not even doing it myself necessarily, which makes me sound like a slacker, but I'm not. And the thing is, there are so many different aspects to these distortions to look at and to take on board and ultimately change your behavior relative to those things. You know, like I don't do black and white thinking anymore. I don't do catastrophizing anymore. Thank you. Yeah. Blame shifting, that's the last frontier for me.
Well,
it happens when I'm in the car.
Right. So think about it this way. So that's about survival.
Right.
If I can shift the blame onto somebody else, whew, nothing gonna happen to me.
Right.
So it's about survival. So a lot of these distortions are survival strategies. Not that they're bad or right or wrong. It's just this is what we kind of come equipped with.
Right.
And
It's
we're
what we were
using
taught how to use a long time ago.
Right.
And we still use them today.
Right. But in that sense, we're trying to build this awareness. This is where we come back to big acronym. Build our awareness, investigate the meaning, and generate choice. I have choice in how I'm going to do this. I have choice in how I'm going to be aware of. Am I using blame shifting?
Right.
So.
Yeah, I have choice in how I feel about anything.
You want to introduce the next one? The next distortion?
Negativity bias. When your bias is stuck in the negative. And even, well, what was it? What did we talk about last week? It was like negativity bias, but it was flipped. But
I can't remember.
It was positivity something, and it was. I can't remember it either, so I'm not going to try right now. Yeah, the brain's tendency to prioritize negative experiences over positive ones. Why do you always remember the bad stuff about me? Or why do I always remember when the streets are closed and not always when they're open? You know, when the construction is in my way, and other than when it's not. You know, I know why we do it. We do it for safety reasons. You know, that's quite clear where that came from.
So if I can look for something that's not going well, it's about safety again. It's about how do I make sure that I'm safe, you're safe, or whoever I love is safe. We're paying attention to these threats that might be coming up. And we don't really want any harm to anybody, so I'm going to make sure that I kind of be on the lookout for those kinds of things. How do they get in the way then if I'm using that as a filter in connecting with other people? How might they get in the way?
Well, if you're always focusing on the negative, how can you possibly see the positive contributions of anybody? So it basically sours your view of everything around you.
You have a story about that?
Not really.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. I just didn't know if you had one.
I just understand it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And, well, I could talk about energy, basically, and positivity and negativity and how they impact us. But that's only going to resonate with people who kind of see it the same way.
So have you ever had a person or a friend that might have been everything their worldview is really negative?
I've known people like that. I don't really have people like that anymore.
I know, because we don't really want to be around them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So what do you think gets them into that viewpoint? What do you think is... I have an idea.
A sour childhood.
Could be.
Yeah.
I don't think they have been exposed to another way.
Right.
So this is the way so habits. There's the power of habits that we have, and we get kind of focused on the power of habit, and we don't do anything different because we're just so automatically reverting back to that way that we've done something before, and it's easy for us, right?
It's what we know.
It's what we know.
Yep. And staying in what we know is
safe.
Very human.
And it's also very safe.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's very human, right? We like to be safe. We like certainty. And that brings certainty.
So a lot of times people think another way of looking at negativity bias. Usually people are critical about everything. One of the things I've kind of noticed on social media is there's a lot of people that will. I think it's what they like to do is just it's a way to.
This is a fight online.
To fight online is post something about somebody's post.
Right, comment on somebody's post in a negative way.
In a negative way, right.
And start an argument. And yeah, there are people who feed on that sort of stuff. Yeah, and those are people who need they act as though they need the negative. Like they're perpetuating this because that's what makes them feel good.
Well, probably have had a reliable past that has given them or shown them that certainty that nothing works out for them,
right? Or
that this isn't going to work, or
right, nothing works out for them. That's catastrophizing, by the way.
Right. So they, instead of looking for possibility, they scan for what's not going well.
Right. Yep.
So that, in some ways, that's the shift of a mindset. There's Carol DeWick. I don't know if we've ever talked about this, but Carol DeWick is a researcher that does something called researches something called growth mindset. Yeah, and then so in some ways, a lot of times of what we've kind of grown up with is a fixed mindset. This is how things work. This is
how it is.
How it is. And so a growth mindset is about looking for possibility, is looking for another way to kind of work through these issues instead of kind of falling back to that same old way. It'll never work out. Nothing will ever change.
Right. And a growth mindset, some people are born that way. Others learn and adopt it. But it doesn't come naturally to everybody.
Well, I don't know that they're born with it. I think it's part of our enculturation.
You think it's part of how they grew up?
How they've grown up, how they've been exposed to something. I just think it's just a wonderful way to look. I don't think we are born with something. I think it is how we have been taught or trained. And if you don't have awareness to it, you keep repeating it. And in my field, in addiction, we have these problems that we have, and if we don't have any awareness to them, they keep showing up, they become this problem, and I just want some relief from it. But part of that recovery or discovery is about, looking at these patterns of behavior and patterns of connection with others and with ourselves, and reviewing what's worked and what hasn't worked, and kind of looking at for other ways to have not ignoring the problem, just kind of working through it in another way that allows for possibility instead of looking for the negativity in it.
Right,
so
right.
Part of that repetition or rumination that somebody might get into, this will never work, I can't figure this out, and so I'm going to go drink myself
into
oblivion.
Right.
Because nothing's going to change. But part of that is about widening your view. So
right, changing your perspective.
Changing your perspective, yeah.
Oh boy.
So this last one, I know you really like it. So
well, I can't quite remember what it's about. I know what you told me, and so I'm going to be learning it as well as the rest of you guys in this.
It's when we interpret other people's behavior, or so fundamental attribution error is about when we interpret other people's behavior as character-based while explaining our own behavior through our circumstances. So if a person is late, they're always late because they have a bad behavior, but I'm late because I had traffic.
Right.
Okay.
Right. It was unavoidable.
Unavoidable, right. It was traffic. Somebody else is late, they're inconsiderate.
Right.
Or
they're irresponsible.
Right.
Or whatever.
Anyway, so this kind of distorts, these experiences in our relationships with each other, and in some ways they kind of harden our viewpoint where we're not able to get to empathy or flexibility because we've now designed or said that they have this character, this is the way they are, and they won't change. So this is how I have to treat them because I know they're always going to be inconsiderate, so I'm going to
make up for it by being vigilant.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
And a lot of times we kind of assign these labels to people. Mm-hmm. They're a jerk, he's an asshole.
Yep. Oh, yeah, dumbass.
Right.
I mean, there's no shortage of those.
Mm-hmm. And part of them, sometimes it might be fitting.
Right.
But mostly it shuts down curiosity. It shuts down what might be going on for that person. Mm-hmm. So today I'm coming back from picking up Michael from the office, and I definitely had a green light, but this guy was going through the light over here on San Jack.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, whoa, I'm coming through my green light, and you're at a red light, and you're coming through it.
Uh-huh.
You can immediately go to a judgment about this person.
Uh-huh. Right.
About their character, but we don't know why they're trying to run the light.
Right. We don't know what their story is.
What their story is, right.
Mm-hmm.
So.
We don't know what's on the back of their train.
Right.
Yep. Huh. Well, curiosity diminishes once character labels form, so the cure for this is to stay curious.
Stay curious, be aware.
Yeah.
Notice if you're using labels of other people.
I mean, I actually did write a mantra for myself that I used for quite a while, but then I stopped saying it. And it was, you don't know their stories, so stop acting like you do. Mm-hmm. Because that's exactly what I was doing. And in the car, mostly, it's like, I don't know their story. Of course I don't know their story. I don't know who they are. Mm-hmm. But I was acting like I did because it made me feel better. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, it's not my fault because they were just an asshole driver. They slowed me down, and it's preposterous.
Sometimes it's where we are.
Right.
And this is kind of there's a, I don't know if I'm got the whole concept down, but there's a saying in Japanese about wabi-sabi, as we are, is that what it means. And I just think we need to practice more wabi-sabi, being where we are, no matter what's showing up. Because all of these types of distortions have an impact on our trust and belonging with each other. And practicing that curiosity kind of helps us work on that connection skills. As an artist, if I don't practice my skills for painting or for drawing, they in some way kind of go by the wayside. They just, I'm not able to see or practice it. Or I know that people that do singing, if they don't go out and sing, their voice,
their voice falters.
Or if a person plays a guitar or an instrument, if they don't practice doing it, it kind of goes away. And I think connection skills need to be a practice, and being aware of them. And how do I practice that connection with me first before I because I can't give something away if I don't possess it first.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to practice my connection skills with myself. So,
Right.
anyway.
Yeah. And, well, NVC requires practice.
Right. In fact, we're trying to get practice groups here in Houston. So if you want more information about a practice group,
reach out
to us. We'll get you one started.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's a great communication skill if you can master it. Because the trick is to use it on the fly. Mm-hmm. To use it in real life situations.
So you got to practice it.
So you got to practice it, right? Mm-hmm. Exactly. So,
I'm gonna do karate. You can't see me, but she's got her karate. I got my karate chopped out. But I have to practice those too.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, because as humans, we got to practice. Mm-hmm. Especially when we're trying to break old habits, mm-hmm. because the old habits will come back, like riding a bike. Mm-hmm. But if we don't want to practice those bad habits, then we need to practice new habits.
Well, we've been doing those habits for much longer than these other newer ones.
Oh, well, yeah.
So that's why they come back so easily.
Like 10, mm-hmm. 20, 30 years,
or 40 or 50.
40, 50, 60 years.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, indeed. So belonging requires to slow down, hold ambiguity and complexity, and multiple perspectives simultaneously. Mm-hmm. Well, that's not going to work if you're shifting blame, or if you're casting somebody in a negativity bias, or if you're catastrophizing about something, or if you're looking at something through a black and white lens. Mm-hmm. It's, and so slow down, mm-hmm. Pause. That was a word a few weeks ago. Mm-hmm. To review your options so you can make an informed choice about your response rather than reacting. Because it's that first instant reaction that is almost always going to be violent and just...
I'm going to put a little pause in here for a second. So violence, I know we get sometimes
right.
say I'm not violent, but what do you mean by violent? I'm not going to hurt you or harm you.
Right. I mean verbally violent.
Verbally violent, right.
Yeah,
so people don't get that can be as a form of violence.
Yeah, and it's more than just verbally violent. It mm-hmm. can be emotionally violent as well. Mm-hmm. If you are really upset about something, mm-hmm. it shows in your mm-hmm. energy, in your face, mm-hmm. Depending on who you are, and the words you choose to use in that moment. Mm-hmm. Or if you don't choose and you just react, mm-hmm. then you're putting stuff out there without even thinking about it.
So our podcast is really about bringing this to attention. This is about bringing us to awareness about how we have these old habits, how we've been using them in the past. And, if you have some disconnection with some friends, this might be a moment to kind of look at what you're contributing to for yourself. Not that you're going to look for other people's issues, but right. You start with yourself first and kind of see what am I bringing to the table, mm-hmm. And then kind of working on that. So,
yeah.
So this has been a great episode about our cognitive distortions. We went through 16 or 15 of them.
Right.
So
5 episodes.
I know.
And so. I think, well, it's hard to say, but I think this is a well thought out series, mm-hmm. and mm-hmm. how it pertains to our everyday life is what makes it so valuable.
Mm-hmm. So good. So our brain is designed for efficiency. It mm-hmm. looks for quick conclusions, assumptions.
Right. Fastest.
You know
answer.
What that story is about, assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We're not going to share it with
y'all. Anyway, so we have these quick, simple narratives, and then we come up with this. I know it's right. We use our emotions to kind of verify it and harden it to that person was an asshole and they were trying to be mean to me or whatever is kind of going on. So part of this is just requiring us, or not requiring us, suggesting that we kind of slow it down, kind of pay attention.
Right. And you just need to give yourself the time to pause and to think it through.
Or go look these up.
Right.
Go look them up. There's easy. Just type into Google cognitive distortions. You'll get a whole bunch of stuff.
Right.
You can find other YouTube videos about cognitive distortions.
Right.
There's all kinds of stuff.
There's a lot of information out there.
So anyway, when you start to notice these patterns, like blame shifting, negativity bias, or what's that fun one that you like?
Catastrophizing?
Fundamental
attribution
error.
Right.
We're not trying to eliminate them. We're just trying to learn how to see them as signals. They're just an invitation to pause and to become curious. So.
Well, as we wrap up today, remember that these distortions aren't signs that something is wrong with you. They're simply fast-thinking shortcuts our brains use to navigate social complexity. That's all we're doing.
And the more we practice that awareness, the more we move from reacting to choosing, which is really the heart of belonging.
Indeed it is. This week's reflection word is reframe.
Woohoo!
Yeah, let's reframe it. You'd be amazed at how much reframing something can be helpful in shifting your perspective.
As an artist, I always think of reframing as, oh my God, I have to go do this into another frame. No, but reframing helps us expand our view. It kind of helps us notice what's in this one moment this week, kind of what you're dealing with. You kind of reframe it as a situation, looking at it. Anyway.
Looking at it from a new perspective.
Right.
And maybe a positive perspective instead of a negative one, or from the perspective of somebody else in the situation, walk in somebody else's shoes for a moment. And
we haven't talked about perspective. That might have to be another one that we talk about.
Well, reframing is
kind of like perspective.
It's shifting your perspective. So it's about looking at something differently, which can be huge or minor. It just depends on the situation. Perspective might show up as another one,
right. So try noticing this week if you have any blame that might be showing up, negativity, or these quick judgments appear. I know that sometimes when I'm driving, my quick judgments appear really quickly.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thanks for listening to Blueprints for Belonging.
And we'll see you next time. Thanks for listening to Blueprints for Belonging. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow. Leave a 5-star rating for us and share it with a friend.
You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you like to listen. Your support helps us keep building conscious connection in this disconnected world.